Hey everyone, Tech Steve here. Today we're going to take a look at this Samsung CU7000. This is part of the entry level to get into a Samsung television. Back in 2021, there was the AU7000. And before all that, it was the TU7000. So that's kind of like the history of Samsung's model number. Well, on this one, it basically has the Crystal UHD processor, and that's going to run all your different menus in the software. And it's 4 cores as far as the power of it. And this TV has pretty much the same design that I remember seeing on the TU7000. And I did a comparison video if you guys want to check it out. Looking at this TV from the side view, it is a little bit thicker and it's edge lit where the TU7000 was direct lit. You're also going to notice that it has this nice silver finish around it. I think they call it titanium gray. And then on the feet, they just snap into place and they're non-adjustable. So what you see is what you get. On the center of the TV at the very bottom, below the logo, there's a little press button. You can get access to your power, channels up and down, volume, and change the sources. But you won't be able to select any applications or anything like that. So taking a look at the back of it, it's got this nice little smooth finish with a ventilation at the top. There's also some screw holes where you can mount it on the wall. It uses M8 screws. And then as far as inputs, you have your power cord input, one USB, a fiber optic output, 3 HDMIs, and your standard ATSC tuner, and then there's a Ethernet connection on the back. It also supports your 802.11 Wi-Fi's from the A down to the N, 5 gigahertz, plus it has another feature called Wi-Fi Direct, and that's going to allow you to take a Samsung phone or any compatible phone and connect it directly to the TV with no need for external Wi-Fi, so you can play videos and things like that directly from your phone. Enough talking about the panel, let's take a look at some pictures. So I pulled up YouTube TV, and on here I was able to get some content that's in 1080p. So right now I was watching a baseball game. One thing I noticed is that the grass was really green, but the TV didn't have really good smoothing around the edges. So it looked a little bit blurry. And this is something that you might not notice, but the skin tones look great and the action scenes had really good smooth motion. So I think you'll be happy just watching regular TV. Next, I pulled up Disney Plus and I want to see what this content looks like. And the contrast was really great. Now this TV doesn't have local dimming zones, but Samsung uses a technology called UHD dimming that basically gives you kind of that local dimming look without sacrificing the black levels. Overall, I think you're going to be happy with the picture quality on this, especially if you're not comparing it to another TV. But to give you guys an idea, this is what they call an 8-bit panel. And that means that this TV has around 16.7 million colors. But if you want to spend more money and get something like a Samsung QN90C that has 10 bits, then you can get over 1 billion colors. And with the built-in frame rate control, I didn't notice any type of flickering or anything like that that's going to make your eyes feel like you can't watch the content. Now, if you plan on watching some HDR content on this TV, it's going to look fantastic. Now, keep in mind, HDR content is actually 10-bit. That's why it looks so rich in colors and all the details that you get. But the fact that this has the 8-bit with frame rate control, I think you're going to be very satisfied overall. And you're going to find high dynamic range sources like Amazon Prime has it, Hulu has it, as well as Peacock. That's pretty cool. And you can also get it on Paramount as well as your Vudu and your Netflix. So you have plenty of content out there. Unfortunately, it is something you have to pay for, but it's going to make the TV look its best. Now, when it comes to the brightness of this TV, it's around 350 nits, so it's not going to be mind-blowing, but keep in mind, this is a more budget type television. Now, when it comes to audio, this TV has 10 watts by 2, but if you're going to get a better experience, you can add the Q Symphony soundbar that Samsung has available, so you can actually have the TV speakers playing at the same time your soundbar would play, and that's a pretty cool feature. And it does a feature called Object Tracking Light. So as you're watching content, as the audio moves around, it creates more like a DSP, so you can actually have this more virtual type of immersive audio quality. So here's what it sounds like. Let's take a listen. So the speaker's built in. It sounds pretty decent, but if you watch a lot of movies like I do, you definitely want to get some type of soundbar. All right, I loaded up Tekken 7, and now I'm just gonna play it, see how smooth this TV is. I normally like fighting games, racing car games. I don't really get into this role playing or story acting, but yeah. I could play this all day on this TV. Now I will tell you that it's not as bright as I would like. I mean, you can do some minor adjustments or put in SDR mode, but in HDR, it's looking really good. All right, I just loaded up the crew and let's take a look at this. All right, there we go. We have some momentum. Let's see if we can jump this ramp. There we go.
Speaking of soaring,
Yeah, it's good.
there you have it, folks.
So you'll have fun with this with game systems. This is the PS5, but it works well on the Xbox. All right, now we're in the Xbox, and you can see it will support all these at 60 frames per second. This TV does not support 120 hertz. Going into the details, you can see it doesn't support that 120 hertz, and it will support HDR10 and 10-bit gaming. But keep in mind, Samsung does not support Dolby Vision, no matter which model you get. They support a format called HDR10 Plus. This gives you an idea of what this TV will allow you to play as far as gaming. So here's a quick rundown of the operating system. This TV is using Tizen 7.0. That's the newest of the Samsung lineup. On the sidebar, you have your search feature, but keep in mind this TV does not have Bixby or Google or even Alexa built into it. You have a gaming mode, and this is going to basically give you this little menu so you can go in here and connect the controller. You can play your PlayStation, which I have connected. This is also Xbox, GeForce, Luna. You have all the clouds in there, so you can basically stream, but you want to have about at least 25 to 50 megabits per second. Next, we have media, and this is where you can find all your applications. So you can see I have Samsung TV Plus, which is a streaming application service. Over here, you have Netflix, and you can modify it over there. Another thing to point out here is that this TV does have a web browser in it, so you can play some content right over the internet directly from the TV by using the keyboard and mouse or the remote control that comes with it. Next, we have connected device, and this is where you can connect your Samsung application, and you can get quick access to everything. Plus, if you want to, you can add certain cameras to this TV and do like Google Duo and some of those to stream video chats. And personally, I don't really like this layout because to get to the settings, you got to go here, or you have to hit the remote control and hold it down to get to the settings. But under settings, this is where you can quickly change your TV output, your picture outputs, Bluetooth, and a couple of devices down here at the bottom. So here's the remote control that comes with it. One thing you notice is that this one doesn't have the solar panel, so it runs off of AAA batteries, but it has all the other features you need, like your home button, back, play, pause. And one thing I want to point out is that this is not a voice activated TV, so you don't have that button up there to trigger the Alexa or the Bixby. So here's my final verdict on this TV. Overall, I think it's a good TV, but it's for a certain person. If you're hardcore into gaming, if you're the type of person who watch a lot of movies with a lot of dark scenes, and you like movies in HDR, I definitely would step up a few notches. But for some people who just want to have a Samsung branded TV that works really well, I think you'll be just fine with this. The biggest things that I would tell you is that I didn't find any kind of blooming in the television. I know the contrast works really well, the colors pop, and this TV has pretty much all the bells and whistles that you need. On the other side of that, it comes with a more basic remote control, so you won't be able to do the voice commands. And I did notice that it is a little bit blurry around some of the edges, so it's not going to be as sharp as some of the other Samsung televisions. But I will say, for the price of this TV, give it a shot and see what you think. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace!